Good morning, one and all. Welcome to the Commodities Weekly Roundup with me, Ravindra Rao from Kotak Securities. It was a roller coaster ride for commodities last week with increased volatility. The week started on a weaker note, building on losses noted a week ago. However, by end of the week, most commodities managed to end higher. Commodities continued to be impacted by trend in US dollar as market players assessed US economic data and Fed comments to gauge Fed's monetary policy outlook. The US dollar index once again reached April highs, but it did not sustain and fell sharply on Friday as it ended the week with a 0.3% decline, erasing the gains noted a week ago. The US dollar had earlier gained on better than expected US jobs report, but it did not like the CPI miss and it once again fell from the April highs. Technically, 93.20 has now become strong resistance, which is kind of a double top, the recent two tops. And if it sustains above 93.20, 93.25, then an inverse HNS break might happen, and the dollar index might reach around 94 odd levels. On the flip side, 92.40 is a strong support. It is trading currently near 92.60, 65, and if it sustains below 92.40, then again it might slide towards 92, 91.80. So 92.40 remains a crucial support, and on the upside 93.20, 93.25 remains a strong resistance on daily basis. So any close above 93.20, 25 would again ignite buying in dollar index. Having said that, precious metals would continue to track the dollar index, and that might impact the precious metal momentum. This week, precious metal started off quite after the roller coaster ride last week. However, more is in store as Fed's monetary tightening debate is wide open. Gold slumped to March lows of $16.75 an ounce, and silver slumped to November 2020 lows on Monday last week. But after having dropped so low, we saw a sharp recovery in both the precious metals. And last week, gold ended higher by 1%, whereas silver closed more than 2% lower. The mixed trade was reflective of volatility in US dollar as market player assessed US economic data and Fed comments. Gold has bounced back sharply from recent lows, but gains may slow down as we move towards $1800 an ounce. We may see volatile and choppy trading in gold and silver both. And as mentioned earlier, US dollar index will be an important watch, and the levels that I mentioned in dollar index will be very crucial. So if it goes above 93.20 on a closing basis, then we might see precious metals again moving lower. On the flip side, if it falls below 92.60, 92.40, sorry, then the precious metals might continue to trade on the upside. Technically, gold has again moved above $17.60 an ounce. This is in case of spot. And having said that, 1760 would be the immediate support now. 1760 to 1750 range would be the immediate support. And on the higher side, 1798 to 1800 dollar per ounce would act as a stiff resistance in gold. So we expect this range to continue this week. In case of MCX gold, 47,300 is the immediate resistance, and if that is taken out, it might go till 47,700, 750, which is a strong resistance. And on the lower side, 46,500, 46,400 would act as a good support. So the range for this week would be around 46,400 on the lower side, and on the upside 47,700, 750. In case of silver, silver is trading in a broad range. On the lower side, 2250 was the recent low, and it should move below that to sustain lower, because the sharp recovery from the lower levels has formed a bullish candle. And on the upside, 2450 would act as the immediate resistance, but strong resistance is near 2550, 25.50. So overall, even silver looks to trade sideways. So immediate range would be 2250 on the lower side, and on the higher side, 2450 would act as a resistance. In case of MCX, 62,500 was penetrated last week, but it did not sustain and made a low of 61,550. So now that becomes a strong support. If it closes below that, then we might see MCX silver moving lower below 60,000. And if it doesn't happen, then on the upside, 64,500, 65,000 would act as a immediate target and resistance. So the broad range for this week would be 61,500 on the lower side, and on the higher side it would be 64,500 to 65,000. Coming to crude oil, crude continued to swing between gains and losses as market players shifted focus on supply outlook to demand situation. Buying interest weakened lately as a rise in virus cases, especially in US and China, dented demand outlook. WTI crude oil slumped sharply early last week but recovered after taking support near $65 per barrel. However, it lost momentum again just below $70 per barrel and ended the week with a marginal 0.2% gain. Resurgence in virus cases and imposition of restrictions to curb the spread has caused uncertainty in the market, and this is evident from the mixed forecast from major agencies. US EIA in its monthly short-term outlook forecasted a wider deficit this year owing to slower growth in OPEC output. OPEC has kept the demand growth forecast unchanged despite virus risks. OPEC said oil demand will rise by around 5.95 million barrels per day this year, or 6.6%, which is unchanged from last month's forecast. IEA, however, trimmed outlook for demand growth, citing spread of Delta variant. The IEA cut its 2021 global oil demand growth forecast by around 1 lakh barrels a day, while upgrading its 2022 forecast by 2 lakh barrels a day. WTI crude oil may continue to trade in a broad range of $65 to $73 per barrel, with focus continuing on virus situation, which will help form demand outlook. Economic data from major economies may also be assessed for demand expectations. In case of technicals, as I mentioned, in case of WTI crude, the broad range would be 65 on the lower side, and on the higher side, initially it would be 70, and above that the resistance is at $73 per barrel. Near 65 per barrel, it has taken multiple supports now, so that becomes a major hurdle for the bears, and on the upside, $70 to $72 remains a stiff resistance. So until $65 holds, we expect this range to continue, and again the bulls might try to test $70 on the higher side, but overall it looks in a broad range. In case of MCX, on the higher side, 5,180, 5,200 would act as a resistance, and on the lower side, 4,880 to 4,840 would act as a support. In case of natural gas, we have seen a good decline from the higher side, and we have been telling that it might come down to 283, 284, which is the breakout point from where it took off and went on to hit around 310, 311 on the higher side in case of MCX. So once again, after testing the supports near 283, yesterday a bullish engulfing is formed. Bullish engulfing is a candlestick pattern which indicates reversal. So reversal might, the candlestick has formed, but a close above 296 today might indicate a reversal in prices, and the prices might once again try to test 310 plus levels. Support of the pattern is near 283.50, and if it gives a close about 296, then one can maintain a stop loss below 283.50, and one can go long. Below 283.50, we might again see prices dropping, and it might fall towards 270, 268. So 283.50 remains 283.50, 283 remains a strong support on closing basis. Finally, in case of base metals, the industrial metals ended higher last week, reversing the losses noted a week ago. The mixed trade reflects lack of direction in the market, with increasing uncertainty about Fed's monetary policy and health of Chinese economy. We may see choppiness continuing with larger markets. However, a sustained rise may be difficult amid slowdown in Chinese economy and increasing virus spread. On the technical front, almost all industrial metals look to trade in a range. It's a sideways move. Apart from zinc, zinc has been sustaining about 244, and we have been telling that it came out of the range. Once it came out of the range, it is going to test higher levels. It tested around 250, 250, but then because of weakness in other metals, even zinc came slightly lower. But overall trend in zinc still remains bullish until 244, 245 holds. And immediate resistance is near 250 to 50. If that is taken out, we might see zinc prices going higher till 256 to 57 levels. So in the entire industrial metals pack, technically zinc looks pretty good, and other metals are expected to trade in the sideways range. So to conclude, after the recent inflation and labor data, now the market focus will shift to FOMC minutes and comments from Fed Chairman Jerome Powell. Powell has so far maintained that rate hikes are far away, and if he reiterates his less hawkish stance, then we may see US dollar correcting further, and that might be bullish for commodities, especially for gold. However, if even Fed chair is convinced about need for monetary tightening, we may see US dollar strengthening and commodities might come under pressure. Traders will also wait for the next piece of economic puzzle, which is Jackson Hole Symposium at the end of this month. With that, I end this podcast. Good luck and trade safe.